Cleveland Cavaliers face the Detroit Pistons, and the new-look San Antonio Spurs will face the Atlanta Hawks. Welcome, everyone, to WagerTalk TV. I am Andy from WagerTalk. We're going to break down these two games real quick. If you guys could hit the like button and leave a comment. Tell me what your best bet is tonight. Doesn't have to be in these two games, but interested what you guys' take is going to be for the San Antonio game. De'Aaron Fox making his debut with Wemby. So should be fun. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let's take a look at the WagerTalk live odds page. And for Cleveland and Detroit, we have an interesting, to me, the over-under total is the crazy one, 238.5. And Cleveland is on the road, minus 5.5 across the board. Now, Cleveland is off of a back-to-back. Tough loss against Boston. So you would think, well, that's kind of a tough spot. They were at home. Now they got to go on the road. But Detroit's not too far away from Cleveland. I'm not too worried about the travel. And what's amazing is how good Cleveland has been on the second leg of back-to-backs. I went back and looked. They've only lost one time this year on the second leg of back-to-backs. And look at some of these trends on these scores. Against Atlanta, 137-115, easily covering the spread, easily go over the total. They did lose to Houston. There's their loss, 135-131, a ton of points in that one. You go back to Toronto, 132-126. So you're seeing a trend here about a lot of points being scored. Then against the Lakers, 122-110. So you just see a lot of points being scored in this one. So I'm not really that sold on Detroit. When you look at some of the metrics like offensive rating over the last 7 games, Cleveland is the clear number one team. Detroit is down in 11th. Then you look at defensive rating, and Cleveland is 11th. Detroit is 16th. So I'm not too worried about the back-to-back situation and the bad spot for Cleveland. They've navigated it very well this year. So my lean is going to be to take the Cavaliers and lay the minus 5.5 points. And if we're looking at player props, I'm liking Jalen Duren over 12.5 points. These Cleveland Cavalier back-to-back games feature a lot of points, so I wanted to focus on a player to go over his points. And Duren has gone over in 8 out of the last 10. He came up a half point short against the Cleveland on January 27th. But I love that he's getting 9 shot attempts per game, and they're going to be close to the rim. So I get this potential high-scoring game on the second leg of a back-to-back. So I'm going to take Jalen Duren over 12.5 points as the player prop, and we're going to take Cleveland to cover this 5.5-point spread. We're running our 7-day special up at WagerTalk. It is absolutely huge week. It starts basically tomorrow on Thursday. We are going to be in play in the NBA. We swept the board on Monday, and we're looking to build on that. We're having a really nice run in NBA, but tomorrow is when it really starts. It's the first day of the Premier League of darts. We've got the first day of Live Golf. We got the first day of PGA Tour Golf. We've got lacrosse. We've got a 5% UFC best bet. We've got our Super Bowl prop. So we're running a 7-day special knocked down to $69. We are on a 45-17 run, all sports, just an insane run. These are all plays that we bet with our own money. They build our bankrolls, and we have been building bankrolls for a long time. We're still maintaining that number one spot over the last 2 years. So short-term success, long-term success. There's no reason to not jump on board the 7-day pass. The 5% UFC plays $35 on its own. Just double the price, and you get all the other sports included on all those sports that we're running really hot in. So no promo code needed, WT.buzz/AL. Take advantage. We are the number one handicapper last 2 years, and the profits have been coming in really, really good the last 2.5 weeks. Looking forward to a big, big week and a big weekend. All right, let's talk San Antonio Spurs with De'Aaron Fox making his debut. I don't really have a great way to handicap this game because you don't really know what the Spurs are going to look like, and that's fine. We'll have a little fun with it, but I really can't say I have a big time edge in this game. When we look at the WagerTalk live odds page, the total is 242.5, and San Antonio is the minus 4.5 point favorite. And I get it. Atlanta broke their losing streak on Monday, but just a 2-point win. And you look at their losing streak before. I mean, they were losing to Houston and Minnesota. Those two aren't bad, but losing to Detroit and then back-to-back to Toronto was just a really terrible look. Then they go on the road trip. They get housed by Cleveland. They lose by 5 to Indiana, but they do get the win to Detroit. But look at these last 3 games, the totals. 137-115, 132-127, and 132-130. So this is just an up and down team. The last 7 games, they have the number one pace in the NBA. And when we look at San Antonio, they're coming off of a couple losses, but again, I don't really take too much into this. My lean is going to be that Atlanta is going to cover the spread at home because I think it's going to take San Antonio just a little bit of time to get used to their new rotation, who's playing where, trying to gel together. But one thing I do like is De'Aaron Fox over 6.5 assists. I'm not really too concerned with his numbers when he was at Sacramento recently, but he's been very open that he wanted to be here and he wanted to play with Wemby. And what better way to integrate yourself into this team than to dish out a lot of assists? I think he's going to get a lot of minutes here. Chris Paul is going to be moving to the bench, which, he's a team guy. He's okay with doing this. He's done stuff like this in the past. So I think De'Aaron Fox is going to get 30-plus minutes. I think he's going to be a distributor. I don't think he's the kind of guy that has to go to a team so I can ball hog and shoot the ball all over the place. So I expect a lot of potential assists from him tonight. So I would take a little bit of a sprinkle on the 6.5 assists, but I would lean for Atlanta to cover the spread and potentially maybe even win this one. So I need to see San Antonio and what they look like as a cohesive unit before I'm ready to bet on them. So that's going to be the leans. These are not going to make the client card. These are just some leans here. So do not go crazy on betting this one. However, I'm really excited to watch this San Antonio team. So I will be watching this game absolutely for sure. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much. Again, 7-day pass, WT.buzz/AL instant discount down to $69. You get all sports, including 5% plays, Super Bowl props, 45 and 17 run all sports. Don't miss out on any more profits if you haven't taken advantage of this. Good luck on your plays tonight, and we'll see everyone later.